Miss Peters. Thank you for coming in today.
Hello.
It's so great to have you here today. I want to talk to you today about your daughter, Ashley. We've been working on our reading skills, and she obviously loves to read. She tells me how you guys go to the library on the weekends.
Sounds great.
She's been doing really well, so I do want to talk to you about her progress. That sounds good with you?
That sounds great.
Awesome. We've been focused on the 5 main areas of reading. We have phonemic awareness, phonics, vocabulary, fluency, and comprehension. All right, and I'm going to walk you through each of these, and I'll explain more what they are as we get to them, and then how we worked on these skills with her. Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
Awesome. So let's start with phonemic awareness. This is the first step in reading. It's the ability to hear, identify, and manipulate sounds. For example, when given a series of words, Ashley was able to replace the first letter sound of the word. So I gave her some words, and she had to replace the sound with an S. So nod to sod, mad to sad, and so on. Does that make sense?
Sounds like she's doing great.
She is doing great. And this allows the student to break down syllables, and Ashley was able to execute each of these with ease. She did really well, but it would be beneficial for her to continue to work on these skills as she grows as a reader. And this can be done at home and in the classroom, and I can give you tools to utilize it at home. She can create a word bank, which is just like her list of her new words, and she reviews them as she struggles with newer words, and she puts them to her word bank just to help her remind her of how she learned them and where they came from. And then she can also have a beginning, middle, end sound box, where she'll be given a word and she'll separate it by the beginning sound, the middle sound, and the end sound. All right, do you have any questions so far?
No?
Awesome. So these tools are going to help her grow as a reader. Our next tool is phonics, and phonics is the idea of the relationships between letter sounds. This is a staple in the diet of reading. Phonics allows readers to identify individual letter sounds in a word, as well as combine little sounds, such as digraphs and blends. She was assessed in phonics earlier this year, and she did really well. She did good with her digraphs and her blends, so the sh, like all those sounds where it's the 2 letters that make a new sound. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right. And she did very well with those, and her other vowels. She did have some problems with. She struggled with other vowels. So those are going to be words that are kind of like nonsense words that aren't as common, or that she's not going to see as frequently. So the other vowels is going to be like oit, like O-I-T. It's not a very common sound, but it is something that she's going to want to know as she progresses in reading.
Is this something she can do at home?
Yeah, she can do this at home. She can have a word sort, which is really a great activity for her. She'll be given different categories and a handful of words and vowels, and she'll be asked to put them in the appropriate categories, sorting them. Great. Awesome. Let's see, what else do we have for Ashley today? Our next area is fluency. Fluency is the ability to effectively and efficiently recognize words to understand the meaning of text. So fluency allows the reader to become better, faster, stronger, just a more skillful reader. A few weeks ago, Ashley was given the San Diego Quick Assessment, which is just a simple assessment we use here at the school. This determines her fluency rating, and Ashley did very well in this assessment, and we decided that even though she's in a 1st grade classroom, she's currently functioning at a 2nd grade reading level, so it's a very great thing for her. She was given a short passage to read, and she did very well, but she did have some problems with repeating certain words and phrases, so she would start the sentence and then repeat the first 2 words and then repeat the sentence again. So she did struggle with that, but that is very common and can easily be deterred.
How can we get her back on track?
I have some activities that could be beneficial to Ashley. These activities can be implemented at home as well, so no need to worry. Ashley could create a word wall, as we discussed earlier. That's going to help her in all these areas of reading. It's just going to make her a stronger reader overall. She could also do paired reading, which would really be great for both of you to do. It's a great bonding activity as well. And what paired reading is when 2 readers read the story, but they read it simultaneously. So this allows you to read it with her, and if she makes any mistakes or errors, you can immediately be notified of them and help her to make the appropriate changes.
Sounds great.
Awesome. And this will keep her accountable too. So that would be really helpful if you could work on that at home, and of course we'll work on all these things at school, but the more she does at home, the better she'll progress. Our next area of interest would be vocabulary, and this is the words we use day to day. Strong vocabulary allows readers to become more proficient in their understanding of text. Ashley's vocabulary was assessed earlier this quarter using the word meaning test. Ashley did really well on this. She did score appropriately for her grade and her reading level. But it would be great to encourage the enhancement of Ashley's vocabulary just so when she does progress in these higher levels, and I'm sure she will continue to progress and be above grade level for quite a while, it would be very beneficial just to increase her vocabulary so that she does not have any struggles later on. This can be done using word maps and word walls and a word bank. So again, we really want to emphasize that word wall. And this can be done at home. You can just use that bulletin board and just pin words on their new vocab. And word maps, you can connect them. When she finds a new word, find a way to connect it to her real life. Alright, so just find a way to help her make that connection to understand what the word means in her own terms.
Sounds great.
Awesome. Do you have any questions so far?
Nope.
Alright, Ashley's done a lot of growth throughout the school year. She's done really well. Our next area of study is comprehension, and this is the ability to make connections between what we're reading and what we already know. And so to assess Ashley's comprehension level, I had her pick out her own book. I had her pick out one that was a second grade reading level that she had read before but hadn't read for a while, so that way it would be still kind of fresh but still familiar at the same time. The book she picked out was The Bag of Gold, and after reading the story, Ashley was asked to complete a beginning, middle, end map. She did very well on this. She was able to identify the beginning of the story, the middle of the story, as well as the end of the story, using key points and vocabulary that occurred in the story. So that was really great. She did very well on that.
Okay.
To help her enhance these skills, though, I would like her to complete more story maps throughout the year and to start summarizing her reading. So maybe like when you guys are at home and she reads a story, have her summarize what she read. Because sometimes when you read something, you're reading it just to read it and you're not taking in all the context. So after she reads a story, have her summarize what she read and what it meant.
Okay, I'll definitely do that.
Awesome, thank you. It'd be so helpful. Alright, well overall, Ashley's doing very well and she's continually progressing. She's doing very well in phonemic awareness, phonics, fluency, vocabulary, and comprehension. As you can see, there's only a couple minor issues, but those can easily be fixed throughout the rest of the school year and at home. Thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.